The first one we played was actually the Bloodborne game.
Yes.
Now, this
Hot off the presses.
Yes, this one is relatively new. I have not played the Bloodborne video game. I know I want to, and after playing this, I want to play it more. It doesn't play like that. It actually plays a lot like
Cutthroat Caverns.
Thank you, Cutthroat Caverns, because I already told you that. In which you're each hunter, or I think that's what you're called. Excuse me. And monsters come out, and every time you deal damage to it, you take its life points, or it's called, I think, blood drops or stuff.
Okay.
And if, let's say, you had 5 health, so let's say I went first, then you, then Neil, who's not here right now. And let's say I dealt 3 damage, then you dealt 2. Neil doesn't deal any damage, so he doesn't get any points.
Okay.
So it's all about that, getting those hits in. But also, when you defeat a monster, they give you trophies. You have this little board to keep track of trophies. There's 3 different kinds. And it's like, first, if you have 1 of that trophy, it's 1 point, 2, 2, 3, but then it goes 5 to 8. So it's like, if you focus on 1, you can get a lot.
Okay.
So it's this whole last hitting, but you have life. And if you go down to 0, you actually, if there's banked blood points and then there's like where you just got them, you'll lose all your points. So you want to make sure you gotta be very careful of your health.
So you're not eliminated from the game?
No, you just restart.
Okay.
But you're out of that round.
Okay. So it's a little less, because in Cutthroat Caverns, you can just die.
Well, I'll get over the general rules. In the game, there's a random deck you pull from. There's boss cards, there's minion cards, and there's like a big boss. And the big boss is constantly throughout the game. Like the one we played with, because since it was the first time we didn't know how to play, was everyone gains 1 life at the end of each turn. It's your beginner boss. But one of them is, if you die twice, you're eliminated.
Okay.
So there's plenty of fun ones there for you, Jonathan. And you start with a basic, just like Cutthroat Caverns, you have cards to play. And some of them are stronger, some of them are weaker. So it has that mechanic of, and you rotate who's first. So it'd be like, I'm not going to attack this turn.
Oh, so no initiative cards.
No.
You know who's going to go
first. Yes. So you can predict in that sense. Mm. The other thing is the monsters. As I said, there's a deck of monsters you go through before facing the final boss. Some of them are boss monsters. If they're minions, they're only around for 1 round. So if you don't kill it, they run away.
Okay.
The boss monster is bigger and harder. And they attack each turn too. So they're hitting you. Everything hits you. Now, you can play a card called the Hunter's Dream, which you don't attack this turn. You fully heal. You take half damage that turn. And there's a lineup of cards for you to buy of better cards to put in your hand.
Okay.
And also get your cards you played discarded.
It's a little deck building.
Yeah, it's more like a hand building. You play with only 7 cards. But it's just, a lot of them are really interesting. Like one was like, when you attack, deal 1 damage every turn. Another one was, if no one else plays the same copy of this card, no matter what turn order, you deal your damage right away, even before the monster attacks. So it's great for sniping the monster so no one gets points.
Got it.
And then another one was, for every damage you take, you deal damage back to the monster. So you could hit for like 10 damage if they hit you hard enough. So it was this, but because of the way the minions run, it's a lot quicker than Cutthroat. And because of, except for that one monster, no real player elimination. I mean, it sucks to die, but you're not nearly as terrified.
Sure.
So it played really quickly and a lot of fun, and I wanted to play right again afterwards. Like, I honestly, when we record these, we usually have our game nights usually after. I'm honestly thinking of driving down to New Brunswick to pick the game up, to borrow it, because I really think you're gonna love it. Like, this felt like a really, like, even though, like I said, I didn't know anything about the Bloodborne game, this just felt so much fun. It had that sort of competitive but cooperative, only cause we have to kind of deal. And you're thinking like, I want to just attack with my weak card now so we can't kill it, or like.
So you can all lose, potentially.
Potentially. But, and if you all survive, in the end, whoever has the most points wins. But I just felt like a lot of fun, just like a great game if you like Cutthroat, but simpler and quicker, but not too much that you feel like you lose out on the elements.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, it was. I definitely think it's right up your alley, and that's why
I wasn't sure. I was like, it's yours, right? Oh.
No, it's actually what I got Mark for Christmas.
Okay.
Because he loves the Dark Souls, Bloodborne whole series.
I mean, I've heard great things about both those games. I can add to this discussion that Eric Lang dropped on Twitter that he's already working on an expansion for it.
This game definitely fits that because of the way the monsters work and the deck, the equipment upgrade. I could easily see more things getting thrown in there. And more fun. I mean, look at Cutthroats, how much stuff it has.
Oh yeah, that's just there's like 5 different sets.
But yeah, no, definitely because they haven't played Cutthroat before. I was already thinking like, how can I last hit this thing? Like, it was such a
you had the upper hand,
the evil upper hand. But yeah, overall, I definitely recommend. If you like Cutthroat, you'll like this. It's a much quicker version of it.
Is all the art like it's not screenshots, but like models from the game?
Yeah, they're actually all, at least from what I can tell, they look like it, models from the game.
Okay. But done, like, it looks good?
Oh yeah, I think it looks pretty good. The board I'm not as sure about with the trophies. There's like the 3 trophies, like one's a slug, and Mark said it was in the game, but I don't know.
Take his word for it.
Right. Like, so terminology I'm not 100% sure about, but overall I think it went past my expectations, and it's one of those games, as we actually will talk about in a video, depending on release date before or after this, of a kind of game where I want to play another round right after, which is a good thing, especially for Cutthroat kind of deal. Like, usually those games are usually, you're not really thinking of backstabbing. You're more like, I'm just gonna play my cards and have fun. This has that backstabbing element, but somehow makes it so it's not nearly like, I hate you, I don't want to see you for a week.
That's a tough balance to pull off. That's a very fine line to walk. So check it out, Bloodborne. That gets a recommendation.